Hi, my name is Natalia Benavides, and today I'm going to be telling you why first aid and CPR should be required for all high school students. In August of 2015, I found myself reading some shocking news. A young man that I had went to school with had passed away. Jonathan was only a year younger than I was and had just graduated from high school. Earlier that day, he and his friends were out riding their bikes when Jonathan fell off and hit his head. Not knowing what to do, his friends took him home so he could rest. They let Jonathan fall asleep. Now, to anyone who is unaware what to do in this situation, this might seem like the correct thing to do. However, letting Jonathan fall asleep was one thing these teens should not have done. Jonathan later died due to an untreated head injury. Since this happened, his family has pushed to finalize Jonathan's bill, which is a bill in New Mexico that will require middle school and high school students to take a first aid and CPR class. Jonathan's family believes that educating the students will help prevent others from losing their loved ones. To keep another family from having to go through this pain and teach the children at a younger age to acknowledge some of these symptoms and know what to do, it's going to benefit the whole community, the whole state, stated Jonathan's father during an interview with KRQE's Gabrielle Buckhart. Educating high school students in first aid and CPR will save lives. Everyone values life in some way, whether it be their child's life or their own. First aid and CPR techniques are taught in order to save lives. The more people that are educated in your community, the more likely that someone will be able to save the life that you value. Today I'm going to tell you the reasoning behind why so many states in the U.S. require high school students to take first aid and CPR prior to graduating. A first aid and CPR class usually goes over the necessary things you must do during a medical emergency while awaiting professional help. One of the main purposes of this class is to educate you enough so that you are comfortable, well, as comfortable as you can be, while dealing with whatever emergency situation that may be. The more educated you are, the more helpful you will be during that situation. People who are not informed usually panic a lot more than people who are, and can sometimes be more of a danger than help. Another thing that this class will teach you is how to properly perform life-saving techniques such as CPR and the Heimlich maneuver. That extra confidence will go a long way when someone's life is put in your hands. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 1,000 people die each day due to out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. 80% of cardiac arrest episodes occur outside of a hospital setting. This means that those people go into cardiac arrest in places you go each and every day, such as the grocery store, the park, at home, and even at home. Educating your community increases the chances that someone will know what to do when a situation like this occurs, which in turn will decrease the amount of people who die due to out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Performing prompt CPR has proven to increase chances of survival by more than 2. According to the school CPR legislation, half of the U.S. states already require CPR before graduation during the 2015 and 16 school year. Their reasoning is to respond to tragedy, to prevent tragedy, and to teach students social responsibility. All except 9 states, including Alaska, California, Florida, Kansas, Massachusetts, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, and Wyoming, have some movement towards a bill that requires CPR in high schools. Most have passed the bill, others are in the process. I know many of you live in Alaska or are from here, which seems to be one of the states that does not have this requirement, nor do they have any plan on getting this movement into their schools. I do not have any children yet, but I hope that when I do, they can go to a school that offers them an opportunity such as this one. Not only does this educate our younger population and prepare them for emergency situations, it also teaches them community responsibility. First aid classes and CPR classes teach those how to react given an emergency situation and prepare them with the proper skills they may need so that they are confident when it comes down to saving someone's life. If young Jonathan's friends would have known to get help and not let Jonathan fall asleep, he may still be here today. Educating people and preparing them for the worst is the only way to help prevent the worst. The more people that are educated in CPR and first aid, the more lives we can save. While the majority of the U.S. is on the right track, there are still those who are not yet aware of the impact this movement can make. I ask all of you to first educate yourselves in first aid and CPR. Then, to make a stand if you live in an area where there have not been any movement towards this change. Reach out to your community to see if they offer a class locally. If you live in Valdez, classes are offered often at the Prince William Sound Community College. Also, there are many classes online available. You never know when you will be put in a life-threatening situation, nor whose life will be at risk. No one knows when first aid or CPR skills might be needed, but an overwhelming majority of students are willing to attempt rescue efforts, and even more so once they have confidence that comes from training. Perhaps one day everyone who calls an emergency dispatch center will know how to perform CPR, and more lives will be saved as a result. Heidi Stuckey, Do Good Editor. Thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day.